Yeah, making a little lunch to pack with me. But this is something I do quite often because it's quick. It's just flour, lard, and salt cut into it. Mix up enough water in it to make a stiff dough. Then cook it on a floured surface, much like the left has done. But that's done with potatoes. But this is just a bannock sort of thing. But basically, the recipe is kind of like pie crust. It's not a complicated thing, but it's easy to make and tasty. And you can spread butter and cinnamon and sugar on them to make a sweet sort of thing. Or I like to spread them out bigger sometimes, roll them out. These I just did with my fingers. But you can do it with a rolling pin, make them very thin, and then roll fried bacon in them. It makes a tasty lunch. But I need a snack to bring along, and that's what I'm making up. But it's easy to do. But you don't want to cook them too fast, or the flour burns and that leaves a taste in them. But a thing I run across that I've been running across this quite often, I guess not surprising, a lot of people in these liberal states are bailing. Getting out while the getting is good, which makes sense, but at the same time, who the hell wants them people moving into your state? I know the South Dakota governor had said, oh, you're welcome. Well, I don't know. I don't think you'd want to be welcoming these people. They're going to bring the same kind of nonsense that they got going in their states now to your state. So when they talk about wall against, keeping Mexicans out, I think maybe a wall to keep liberals out. I really... I don't know that that's the thing to encourage them to move, but like I say, right now it's almost impossible to get like moving vans, trailers, things like that in these liberal cities because there's a mass migration out of them. But they're going to bring that crap to you. Because it ain't like they're going to change their ways. They've got the same mindset they've always had. It's just that they're very uncomfortable now living with this disaster they've created, so they're pulling out. But, the ones that are pulling out are the ones that can afford to pull out. But do you really want to move it in next to you? They tend to do that. I mean, they've been doing it for years now into like Montana and Oregon, stuff like that. We don't really have too big of a problem with them here, but to see the South Dakota governor saying, welcome in. No, think about that. What you're welcoming in. Because it is very true that they are going to bring their same policies that have ruined their states into your state. So be a little hesitant. Don't think this is such a cool idea. Well, maybe I can zoom in on something here. No, it ain't going to show. There. You can kind of see it. A cat. Okay, I've got a couple cats. There's this one, and then there's a black one, pure black. My sister brought him up from someplace in Minnesota. Somebody who had like 60 cats, farm cats, trying to get rid of them. So I do have cats. This one you can actually pick up and pet. There's a black panther running around here that you don't want to get your hands on that one. But the idea, keep mice down. But the best cat is a cat that will stay a little on the wild side. Yeah, my biscuits are about done here, so I can. Well, I think I'll put butter on them and a little bit of salt and call them good. But they're good with bacon. It's a temptation to cook up some bacon. But I got to get going, so I'll live with these as they are. They're quite tasty because it is kind of like a pie crust recipe, sort of. And pie crust is a tasty sort of thing. But it's, you just throw together the proportions that works for you and cook them on a hot surface. Works fine. No big trick to it. The only thing, like I don't add any baking powder. I mean, you could, to make a biscuit, because it's basically a biscuit dough, but it's unleavened. It doesn't have baking powder in it. You put in baking powder, you'd be fine. You could make biscuits. But this is a quicker way of doing it. Don't need to use an oven, just cook it in a pan. Or a flat rock, or anything that's handy.